This week on Family Tech Weekly, is the Kindle Fire the best option for your kids? Hello, welcome to Family Tech Weekly. I'm Michael. This is my wife.
Hello, Melinda.
Melinda. And we are sitting in my closet office, and we're going to talk you through some of what we've found out as we're able to get some Kindle Fires for our kids and try them out. We installed Amazon Freetime and set the parental controls up on that. And so we have some thoughts about it, some things that we think make it great, some things that we think would make it a lot better. And so we're going to just kind of go over that quickly today on this episode. But I want to send you to becausefamily.org to learn about our workshops to help teach you and your friends how to better keep your kids safe online. I also want to send you to familytechblog.com where you can find this episode and other episodes of the podcast, as well as a bunch of blog posts about internet safety topics and how to keep your kids safe. And that's all the places. You can support us on Patreon or through becausefamily.org/partnership. Go check out a way to keep us going, keep us paying the bills, and making these shows and other things. So anyway, honey, tell everybody about our kids getting those Kindle Fires.
Well, we had some friends who had a couple Kindle Fires that they are now teenagers and kind of have outgrown them and don't need them anymore because both of them have their own phones and stuff like that. So they were going to sell them, and then they thought, hey, maybe the Prince family could use them. So we were given two of them, and we got them set up for the kids to be able to use for school and such stuff like that. We decided, because we have 4 kids, that the 2 oldest ones would get these Kindles because we do have an iPad for the kids that now
to kind of share, as they need it. We set a guided access and let them play on it as necessary.
So before we got these, it's always been the iPad, and we would help them choose or tell them which game they could play, and we would set it for guided access, and we would set however much time that they're allowed to do it, and then when the time was up, and that was it. And they really didn't have usually a lot of choice about clicking around on what app they wanted.
Right.
So it was very much more limited with the iPad.
Yeah, so we saw the Kindle Fire with Freetime as an opportunity to allow our kids some freedom to decide what they want to do on the app, not on the device, not just have to play what mommy or daddy set up for them. And with our oldest going to be 10 and our second oldest just turned 8 yesterday, it's about time for them to learn, to choose how they're going to spend their time that they get screen time.
Yeah, a little more freedom with
and,
figuring out healthy tech habits.
Yeah, and so that's kind of what we're using it for. And my first advice when it comes to any device for your kids is decide. I'm really worried about how crooked my hat is. I think it's just an old hat that's just damaged or just old. I've worn it too many times for too many different things. Anyway, I think the most important thing is that your kids are getting a device to serve a purpose that you see the value, that you see the value in it. Yeah. And that's kind of what we're taking these Kindle Fires, how we're approaching that is the value of this is teaching them the responsibility of you have this much amount of time that you're able to use this device, and it's all built into the device, which we'll talk about. But how are you going to spend it? What are you going to do with this time? And even to the point of you have to accomplish this much as far as education goes before you can do any recreational type stuff or entertainment. So that's the Kindle Fires are giving us an opportunity to do that, and it serves that purpose for us. It's not just, well, I guess we should get our kids a device because that's what somebody's giving it to us, or that's what because we really talked about it for a few days if we wanted to accept those or not, if we could find a real value in our kids having them, and we decided that we did. Yeah. And so tell them about. You actually got them all set up before I messed with it. You had to save one for me because you were all into it, and
I was excited.
I was busy.
It's definitely not as just simple because I'm used to the Mac stuff. So I feel like the iPad is just more straightforward, and I have to I just had to figure out what I had to do. So
a lot of Googling
it wasn't as simple. There's not, just the normal like reset buttons that I'm used to certain combos of things to be able to do to figure out what's going on. Like the passcode I had an issue with. I set a password and then I left for New York and I came back and I totally forgot what it was because it was something so random. So thankfully I hadn't really done much to the
Write down your passwords.
Kindle. Yeah. We did find a way. You have to unattach because you sign up through Amazon, your Amazon account, and you can like I forget the term for it, but where it doesn't connect that device to your account anymore. So that was the way to reset the parental code, because you can't go to the inside to reset it because you have to put the parental code password in. And if you don't know the parental code password, then you can't do all the reset stuff. So you just have to basically wipe it,
disconnect it from your account completely, and start over. Yeah.
If you hadn't set anything up, it's not a big deal. But if you'd already had stuff set up on there, then it's kind of a pain.
Right.
But it wasn't. Once I figured it out, I knew what was going on. But you can set it up for multiple children. You can have, we signed up for the free trial of the.
Which is a continuous trial. From my understanding, it doesn't expire. You just have ads that show up sometimes. So,
as far as I know, it's going to charge our account, but I don't know.
Oh, really?
What happens?
Okay.
That's something.
How long?
I don't know, because that should be coming up soon.
If it was a week, it's over.
No, it was like a month.
It was a month. Okay. First
so
month
we'll
free
see.
kind of
We'll
thing.
see what happens, because it should be.
It'll be worth it, I think.
$12.99 or something for both, maybe.
Yeah, unlimited actually.
Unlimited.
It's like the family plan. For $12.99.
Yeah, so these are older ones. There are the second generation.
Yeah.
So there are some things that might be like glitchy that kind of would freeze up here and there, but I think that might just be the generation and not necessarily the Kindle itself.
Well, that's what happens. Is the software is more powerful than the hardware.
Yeah.
And so the hardware has trouble running the software. So.
And make sure if you get, whichever Kindle Fire or whatever you get, if you get one, make sure you know which generation it is so you get the right cover.
Right size case.
A case.
We have one down there.
Yeah, I have one that...
Kindle didn't even want it, or Amazon didn't even want it back. They just refunded the money. Said, don't worry about sending it back. So if anybody out there has a newer Kindle Fire and you want a black case for it, let us know. Just pay shipping. We'll send it to you. We have nothing else to do with it. So
anyway, yeah, I got it set up. I put all of the kids on there, so even though really we kind of designated the kids per. But I have a basket up above the fridge, and that's where they go. That's where they live. Mm-hmm. They still have to ask. They still have to get stuff done. Like I have my list of you have to get your schoolwork done. You have to get chores done. You have to get, unless there's a specific school thing I want them to do on there. They don't just
if it's in the day's curriculum for school, then it's a part of it. Otherwise, it's extra after school. Yeah. Even though they're required to do educational stuff on it before they can unlock the entertainment, that education is considered extra because it's on the screen like that. They're also not allowed to use them in their rooms, like privately, unless we specifically say, hey, why don't you go up to your bed and read your book on your Kindle or something. They're not allowed to do that. They're not allowed. We're not allowed to. If we ever see them using it outside of the FaceTime app, they're in Freetime app. Sorry, they're in big trouble.
Because that's the other thing to kind of segue into that. When you, at least with ours, the second generation, I don't know if it's different. You swipe to unlock, and it brings up the whole main regular Kindle, which is connected to Wi-Fi and any other app or book that your Amazon is connected to. So there are books that I have on my Amazon that uploaded onto the Kindle because it's connected to my Amazon account, which I don't have anything horrible, but it's still not age appropriate for them. So you have to go through the apps to click on Freetime. It doesn't automatically, unless you are still in the Freetime app from the last time.
And sometimes it is, sometimes it isn't. I haven't been able to tell for sure what causes it to stay in it and what causes it to close it in the background. I haven't put enough thought into figuring that out yet, but like a way to make sure the Freetime app stays up. But but there's not like a key code or password to unlock the screen or anything. So it's best if your kids are younger. I still think it's best to make sure you're the one unlocking it, giving it to them, so that you're making sure they're using it with Freetime installed. Otherwise, YouTube or whatever is available. Any of the movies or videos available on Amazon Prime are there, and the web browser is available. And so that's all disabled in Freetime. Let's just kind of unpack Freetime for the next 5 minutes or so before we let everybody go. And Freetime is cool because it's basically designed for kids 8 and under. And our oldest is almost 10, but when it comes to media, we treat him like he's in that category, under 8.
He's more cautious on what he watches and reads anyway, because he's not going to want to read
anything scary or whatever. But also, just the more time I spend around families, I think we'd all be a little bit better served to treat our kids like they're a little younger when it comes to media than older, because I think the media that is out there, movies, even books, some of that stuff, those things are geared towards older kids with younger kids' age limits. So, you've got your Disney shows that they're about being a high schooler or a teenager, and they're geared towards 9 to 12-year-olds or 9 to 13-year-olds. So it's just this it's this, when it comes to media, we're going to throw them a little younger, not older. And so so that's kind of the approach we have. Except for Star Wars. They're watching The Force Awakens right now. But that's a little different. It just depends on your own preferences, I guess. So, but what it allows you to do is set the time limits, restrictions, and bedtimes and things like that for the use of the device. So you can go in and tell it for weekdays you want a bedtime and a wake up time. So, ours are available only 8 to 8. So from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. you can use it anytime after 8 p.m. If Freetime is turned on, you can't do anything on the Kindle after 8 p.m. You can set that they have goals for books, apps, or videos. That's how it's all separated. And so for educational books, apps, or videos, you can set goals. So you can set, and it's based on time. So you can say you have 30 minutes. You need to read 30 minutes. The goal is to read 30 minutes, to use 30 minutes of educational apps and watch 30 minutes of educational videos, or 15 minutes, or 0. You can say no goals for this. And then you can even check a box that says they have to complete the educational goals before they're allowed to access any entertainment. And then you can set either a full 1 block time limit that they're allowed, so 2 hours a day or an hour and a half a day or whatever. If you've got 3 30-minute goals, that's an hour and a half to accomplish goals. So if you want to say, all right, you get 30 more minutes of entertainment, then that's 2 total hours, but they're always going to have to spend the first hour and a half accomplishing those goals before they can unlock, the silly, the Lego movies or the fun, silly apps that they want to play or whatever. So, and a lot of the apps, though, on Freetime are going to be considered education. Yeah. And so, and you don't, we'll get into this a little bit later, but you don't get to decide what's education, what's not. They do. And that kind of, we'll talk about that in a minute. But it lets you set those goals, lets you set that stuff. Then it lets you set separate goals or no goals and time limits and bedtime and everything for the weekends. So the non-weekdays. So that's kind of cool, I thought, even though we pretty much treat it the same, but you can treat it separately. And so that's a pretty cool option that it gives you as well. Anything else I didn't cover about setting up Freetime?
Not that I.
Yeah, so it's pretty straightforward. It does block any access to web content, so they can't surf the internet. Yeah. The only videos they can access are videos available in their age, the age group you've set, because you set the age that they're allowed, like what their age is, so that they can only access within that age group. The 8 and under, or the 6 and under, 5 and under, or 6 and under and 4 and under, or something.
I didn't actually set up that part.
Oh, but you can set that as well, so that the only content there should be, according to them at least, is what's the word I'm looking for?
Age appropriate.
Appropriate for their age. Yes, thank you. And so you can set that. Here's as we finish up, here's some of the problems we have with this. You want to start?
Sure.
Okay.
One thing for me.
Tip of the tongue. Yeah.
So in the Freetime, they have access to download apps, books, movies, whatever, at any time. So they can go in to the apps and search through the apps and then download it and then play it. There are things on there, even with the age appropriateness from what they choose, there are things on there that I don't necessarily feel like are appropriate for our kids. Mm-hmm. Like in the books and stuff, there was a lot of very spooky type books. Mm-hmm. And for some of our kids, that would be a big issue for them. Even just seeing the cover, it's mostly Jason. He wouldn't like it. Olivia, and the other thing, Olivia would probably want to click on that and probably shouldn't because she would then get scared. Mm-hmm. So he's not interested at all, so he's not going to even click on it. But she would be interested, but then at the same time would be freaked out by it. Right. So she wouldn't necessarily have the self-control to not click on that, to download it. And so that's kind of the bummer, is like you don't have control over tightening up even what is available for them to download. Right. And they could sit there and I don't even know how much time it said. I guess it's just their overall time to sit and just creep through the apps.
Now,
and the videos
you can go in and tell individual apps or books or whatever that they can't, to not show up.
Oh,
you can go disable them, but there's thousands of them.
Yeah, no.
And you'd have to go in. And I actually had a phone conversation with a mom who called me, we got in contact with each other because she wanted help figuring this out, how to set up her Kindles. And I was like, well, I just got Kindles for my kids and set them up. I could probably help you. Well, that was her question, was how do I go in and disable a whole bunch of apps at once, or downloading of apps completely, and say, I have to put in my code, download what I want them to play, and then they can't download anymore. That sounds pretty simple and pretty awesome if you ask me. There's no way to do it.
Her kids are younger.
Her kids are 4.
So she especially wants to have the control, because yes, we're wanting our these to have a little bit more freedom for our kids, a little bit, but especially if you have younger ones, you don't want them to just be able to go in and click whatever,
and
whenever.
Even if the apps are available there, give me make them have to put in the password to download them.
Yeah.
I mean, on my iPhone, they could go creep the App Store all they want. And they can't download anything because they have to put in my passcode to download it. And the same on, I know that's the same on Android and Google Play now. With Family Link, you have to do the same thing. Yeah. But for some reason in Freetime, because they have curated the content and decided themselves that it's age appropriate for your kids, they're not giving you the opportunity to decide if within their age appropriate distinction it still qualifies for you as age appropriate.
Well, because even if it's age appropriate, there might just be dumb stuff. There's dumb stuff or makeup Barbie whatever stuff that maybe you don't want your kids, because I don't want them spending their time on
putting makeup on Barbie dolls.
I would rather them, if they're gonna play a game, let it be something that's gonna be a cool, interesting game that makes them think a little bit more.
And it's not that hard to do. It's just not that hard to make it happen. So Amazon, everybody share this with people who work at Amazon if you know anybody. Please fix this.
Yeah.
Let's make it to where you can disable the installation of apps, or at least have to have a password in Freetime, so that we can help our kids only have the certain number of apps. And how many kids look at all those apps and don't even know, and they never really do anything except sit and download new stuff. Yeah, and all they've done on their device is creep the App Store, like you do on Netflix. You never watch anything. You just go through all the options. Sorry, getting too real. I apologize. But seriously, it's an issue, and it's not that hard to fix, and I think it should be fixed. So that's a problem. What else did we decide was ads showing up on the home screen. Whenever when you unlock the Kindle, the whole front page is an Amazon ad. And that's really annoying. And
because it's different all the time.
I want that to be turned off. And I think you can pay monthly to have that turned off, but it's above and beyond the Freetime thing. It's really super lame, really lame. Especially if you bought the device, you're paying for Freetime. Those ads shouldn't be there, especially if it's for my kid. If I want my kids to use it, I don't want you promoting a cartoon. Because that's what they're doing. They're promoting the Amazon original cartoons while Freetime is locked. It's locked with Freetime on. They promo the cartoons for and I don't want them sitting there going, ooh, I want to watch this. Yeah. I want them to unlock it and do the things that we have set for them to do on it, whether it be school or entertainment that we have decided they should use it for.
Well, and there should be a way to like lock it in free time. So it's
Yeah.
guaranteed, like when they pull out the device, it's right away in free time for them. Yeah. And, you know.
So
there's a little
let's call it. Is this the answer to your give your kids a device and let them play around desires? Is this the thing? What's your answer?
I don't know. It depends on your kid, because there are times when I'm like, golly, the iPad with guided access would be a lot easier, because then I can just go, here, 30 minutes, this is what you can do. And that's actually a whole lot easier.
And it doesn't take super long for them to hand it back to me and me open another app, put on guided access for 30 more minutes, and we're basically doing what Freetime does automatically, but we're doing it ourselves. And it's worth a minute and a half.
Kids,
yeah.
Depending on your strictness level with what they download and watch or don't watch. The nice thing about it is if you are not very strict about what they watch, but you don't want them to get to bad content, this is a good option, because it does keep them in the free time. It's going to keep them in kid-related things. Right. Now, if you want to have a little bit more control, then it's not perfect.
It's not perfect. And that's what I was going to finish with, is it's not perfect. It might be an option. It is an option. We're going to continue to use it. Yeah. But I'm also going to be trying to contact Amazon to try to get them to fix some things. So, so there you go. We've reviewed Amazon Kindle Fire with Amazon Freetime. Thank you for watching, for listening. BecauseFamily.org, FamilyTechBlog.com. You can partner with our ministry at BecauseFamily.org/partnership. And with the podcast at patreon.com/becausefamily. Honey, thank you for taking a little time out of your Labor Day. I know we celebrate Labor Day hardcore around here. Yeah. But we played Risk. That was cool. But anyway.
Well, we'd had different plans, but we had sick kids.
We had sick kids this week. And I hear one waking up, so we're going to have to go take care of them. But thank you for watching. We'll see you next time on Family Tech Weekly.